Hi, teacups.
Hey, teacups.
I'm Kristina.
And my name is Kenna.
And we're just going to spill the tea for you guys today. Before we get started, we are going to go through our regular housekeeping. So I'm going to tell you guys about Broadway for Racial Justice. If you don't know what Broadway for Racial Justice is, it is such an important organization. They're literally dedicated to making conditions in the theater industry better for BIPOC people. So they have all kinds of different programs and resources, and they even have a scholarship fund. So that's amazing. And one of my favorite things that they have is a hotline that is literally open 24 hours a day. And if you experience any racial trauma or you want to know how to proceed with something that's happened, you can call and speak to a person of color on the other line, and they will tell you how to proceed. And they're a relatively new organization. They've been around for a little bit over a year. So any donation that you can donate counts. No amount's too large, no amount's too small. Our link is down there, so please check it out.
And I'm going to tell you a little bit about our social media. Make sure to follow us on Instagram at Kristina and Kenna. We post who our guest is of the week. We post Musical Mondays, which is where we talk about our favorite songs from different musicals. And we also, in the link tree in the bio, we have different links to the GoFundMe and just the YouTube channel. You can also follow us on YouTube, where we post the streams every week. And we just have a lot on our social medias as well as on Kristina and Kenna on Instagram and YouTube.
For sure. Okay, so without further ado, we have a very special guest today, and we're about to pop her right on right now. So, yay.
Hello.
Okay.
Hi.
Welcome. Welcome.
Yeah.
Welcome to my living room. No.
Yeah. So, our guest today is Natalie Weiss. There's her social media. It's right there on the bottom. And before we get into the interview, you guys know we always like to start with an emotional check-in just to see where everybody's at, how everybody's feeling before we proceed. So, Natalie, how are you feeling today? What's going on?
I feel good today because I'm busy today, and but truth be told, I have had a few rough weeks emotionally. So without getting into too many detail, I've been very up and down, but today I feel good. So how are you guys?
Well, me today, I would say it's been a very good day for me. Today's me and my best friend's friendiversary. So,
Aww.
I've had that to celebrate. And, other than that, I've been extremely busy with school, which, school is, oh my goodness, so stressful, especially as a junior. It's pretty, it's like this counts. So, other than that, I couldn't be more grateful to have this platform and to be having this conversation with you. So that's what I meant today. What about you, Kenna?
Today has been a really good day. Basically all I've done all day is crochet. And I'm really excited for this interview and just excited to ask you different questions.
So there you have
it. Without further ado, we can get into it.
So the first question we always like to ask our guests is, just to tell us a little bit about themselves.
Okay, so I'll give you the brief recap of my life up until now. I grew up in New Jersey. My parents put me in classical piano lessons pretty early, so I started as a musician, and then I realized that I could sing enough. So I did the talent show as a singer, but I definitely learned how to sing from Mariah Carey and Whitney Houston, Bodyguard soundtrack. We learned when we were 8 how to sing, but not I didn't really have any formal training until maybe college. So I went to a performing arts high school. I also played sports, so I had to kind of give up sports to focus on singing lessons. I applied for music education and musical theater in college because I kind of always knew maybe I wanted to teach. But I decided on musical theater because theater people are my people. And so I went to Penn State for musical theater, and I was kind of the resident, I coached my friends because they trusted my opinion. So it started with is this pitchy? Kind of questions like that. And then my senior year of college, I was singing at the head of the program's house, and one of the freshmen filmed it. And this was literally 15 years ago, before you were born. And he was like, yeah, girl. And then he posted it on this thing called youtube.com. And then That video is the reason that I'm here today. Everything in my career has been by accident and on purpose. I have a very, very atypical path, but everything kind of led me to the next thing. But when I grew up, I wanted to be famous, and it was not, I want to be social media famous. That wasn't a thing. So in this little niche musical theater market, a lot of it just happened kind of by chance and by, putting out the content you believe in. And that's where I am. Well, I mean, I skipped a couple things, but.
Yeah, it's okay. We're going to get those couple of things.
Okay. Yes, I noticed how you mentioned Mariah Carey, and I love Mariah Carey. She's like my absolute favorite. I kind of learned how to sing from her, but I actually watched your Mariah Carey Lead the Way riff rundown, and like I just like practiced that over and over again until I finally got it. So
I love that you said that. I love that it worked. It's funny you said riff rundown, because in my course that I released a couple months ago, one of the module titles is the riff rundown. So it's funny you said that. No pun intended or pun intended.
Oh, for sure. Like I love watching your videos, and it definitely helps because like riffing is hard. And like getting it broken down for you is, it's just it's a blessing. But yeah, like I know you talked about playing classical piano, but like when was the point where you like really were like sat down, you're like, okay, like I love this. Like I'm into this and this is what I want to do. Like what was that moment?
What was the moment? Excuse me, Flem. Maybe when I was like Peter Pan, when I was 10 or something like that. I remember getting the lead over like the 14-year-olds, and they were like, who's this 10-year-old, and I like got this part, but I like was horrible. Like I was good for 10, but like not good. And I guess I liked it. I think for me, like socially, like I was like social, but I remember feeling super bullied up until I met, like when I went to theater camp, and I like did not find my people. Like I feel so socially comfortable with my circle. And I don't mean circle in like a circle. I mean all of 9th Avenue in the city. Like it's in the whole theater community. I feel like I'm in my niche. But before I kind of like really found my people, I was like floating, like, I don't really fit in. I'm sure a lot of theater people feel that way. So when I knew I wanted to perform, I mean, there's been like little things here and there. Like I probably growing up would like, I had this little step up in my house, and I would pretend it was a stage. So like, making up stage moments, little karaoke machines, doing little plays. But, and then throughout, I'm like, wow, this is why I do this. This is why I do this. But sometimes you like kind of forget the defining moment. So it's hard. It's like, oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Right. Like I definitely understand. Like I've been in Peter Pan, the British musical, as well as Peter Pan, the American musical. And yeah, I was a pirate in both instances, and it was a very fun experience and a very fun show to be in. But like, I think our first Peter was a guy, and he was a senior, and it was like, most of the time, I guess when you see Peter Pan, it's like played by like a woman, and like, but he was really good, and I was like here for it. And then the second Peter that I had was a girl named Mary Ray Waterloo. So Mary Ray, watching this, I have no
Yes.
Yeah.
And you made your Broadway debut understudying the Menonettes in Everyday Rapture, and just what was that like?
Okay, so I kind of explained it as like you work so hard, like everyone's dream is to be on Broadway, right? And at that point I had done a tour, I had worked professionally, regionally, I got my equity card at like junior year of college. So when you make it on Broadway, there's like this, I've done it now. And then you do it. And like to have the dates that I went on, I had a week, I had like 75 people in the audience. I went on, my parents brought their friends, and the support was amazing. And then we did a Q&A, and it was like, wow, I did that. But I think any Broadway performer would say it was just like a lot of other experiences. It's just the allure of Broadway is like, this, you've reached it. You know what I mean? So, feeling sort of validated that you did a Broadway show, but then like it was a short run. So it was only 3 months. And I'm always like, when am I going to be back on Broadway? But I've done other things since then. But there is this like, you know, sort of, well, thank you. They've gone through a change, big change over the years. I'm reading the comments. So yeah, there's like this always like this other itch, but then I'm like, I've discovered other passions throughout. So, you know, kind of finding the balance and stuff like that.
Well, I know that like Broadway is a huge deal, and like me and Kenna both have Broadway dreams, but you are also on American Idol, which is like huge.
Oh my God.
Really finalist. What was that like?
I was such a baby. You know, honestly, it was not positive for me. So it was like, I remember thinking like, why did I pick this song for group round? I should have picked the other. There were like 5 choices. And I was like, why did I pick this song? But I happened to be in a group with stage parents and I didn't have my family there. And it was really hard. And it just wasn't my best performance, even if I felt, you know, I remember blanking on stage, like practicing all of the things I was going to do and then blanking because you stay up all night and then you just like cram and then you have no brain left. So I remember thinking my life is literally over. Like I wanted to crawl into a hole. And now it's so funny that watching, I'm always like, I want to be a coach on those shows, not be on it. So it's just such an interesting shift. It's a TV show, you know?
Mm-hmm. Was it like, what was the whole behind the scenes process of American Idol?
I mean, like, it was like kind of what you see. It's just that like my drama that was aired was not fake. Like I remember like being so annoyed at like 4 a.m. and like finding the cameras to cry to. Like I'm not like dramatic and I was like, where are the cameras? I'm done with this. But I'm kind of glad, you know, I was known as the girl with the yellow shirt with those yellow earrings. And I never thought that I would, you know, they skipped half. It looked like I sang less than the other girls too. So we actually all sang the same cut with like the editing and stuff. It just didn't work out. You know, I always wonder what would have happened, but yeah.
Everything has its purpose.
Exactly.
To other things. And you know what? Maybe if American Idol worked out, you wouldn't be where you are now.
Exactly. You don't know. That also happened before that YouTube happened. So like, what if I had made it? I always say, what if I chose another school? What if I made it to the top 24? What if, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I'm such a believer in that.
Yeah, it is because like everything happens for a reason. Like if I was not on Instagram the random day that I was on Instagram and Kenna popped up in my suggestions, then this would not exist, right?
Is that how you guys met?
Yes.
Wait, have you guys met in person yet?
No.
How long have you guys been friends?
Since February. So
of this year?
Of this year.
Yeah.
Oh, I was gonna say because like I don't know if you follow my Instagram, but my buddy Jules Brave, she's met a lot of her best friends on Instagram Live, and they were best friends for I'm gonna say a year and a half since pandemic, and then they all met finally. But it's kind of like not weird when you meet people on Zoom and Instagram now.
Yeah, it is because like I would say like a good chunk of my friends are like people I have not ever met. And I think the weirdest thing for me is like once I've Zoomed with somebody or like FaceTime with somebody for a while, my first question is, how tall are you?
Well, that's so weird. I met somebody who I had been internet friends with, and the first thing when I met him in person, I was like, oh my God, I didn't know you were going to be so tall. So that's like an important question.
It is because like I had this one friend and she gave me real short girl energy. And I was like, oh my goodness. Like I was picturing her, I was like, you are like 5 foot. And I'm like, and then she was like, I asked and she's like, oh, I'm 5'9". And I was like,
oh, what energy am I giving you?
You're giving me like good, maybe like
you can also
5'6".
just Google me.
I haven't Googled your height, but you're giving me like 5'6" energy.
I'm 5'9".
You're 5'9".
But no, but a lot of people say in person that they think I look taller in person. It's very funny.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool. How tall am I? I'm 5'6" and a few centimeters.
Okay.
Little bit, and I think Kenna's like my same height too.
Yeah, I'm about like 5'5", I think. I don't know. I need to go to the doctor because
I need to go to the doctor too. I haven't been to
and then
the
it'll change.
physical since before the pandemic. Because my doctor's appointments keep getting rearranged because they're like, oh, you're not an emergency person. You can't go see the doctor. That keeps happening. Yeah.
And earlier you mentioned how you went to Penn State University and you studied musical theater, and just what was that experience like?
Well, it was the right school for me. It was like a small program in a huge university. I really didn't want to like be in New York because I grew up in New Jersey. I wanted to be like a sensible 4 hours away. You know, had my car there sophomore year on, easy to come home. My class was like 9 people. So we were all best friends and it was a really small class. Some classes are like 25. That's a normal, you know. It's also so funny to me that like in my class, like I think 2 of 9 are pursuing this. It's just so interesting, you know, things take people a different way, but I learned so much. I have like amazing mentors and an alumni, you know, group. So.
Well, I definitely think like that's good. Like Penn State is like, first off, a really good school. And I think like people get, I don't want to say like people, when a lot of times when people think like going to school for musical theater, like everybody's first instance is like, oh, University of Michigan, or like, oh,
Yeah.
like Tisch, like, oh, like Pace, you know?
Yeah.
And I think it's like really cool because I also think that it's very important to understand that like other schools have good programs as well, even if they're not.
And there's, since I went to school, I mean, there are hundreds of amazing programs now.
Right. Like, and I think a lot of people get, but like, I think that's a beautiful thing about like Unifieds, where there's like,
Mhm.
Yeah.
I love Unifieds. I try to go every year besides pandemic. And I'm like, I used to sit in on the Penn State room and like love talking to people in the lobby.
Right. I'm Unified. I'm a junior.
You don't need to worry about Unifieds yet. Are you applying for musical theater programs?
I am.
Ooh.
Ooh.
But you're gonna be a junior?
I am a junior currently. I already started school.
Oh, wait. Oh, great. It's August, so okay.
Yeah. So.
Got it.
Yeah. It's just a lot. Every time I think of school and like college, I'm like, oh, I'm a junior. And I'm like, yeah. Yeah. So, well, we talked about earlier about like how me and Kenna both use your series, Breaking Down the Riffs, and you literally gained an international following like behind the series. And what was your inspiration and like how did you go about starting this series?
Okay, so I was on tour with Les Mis for about I'm going to say 8 months at this time. And I was a swing, so I had a lot of offstage time. So I would watch the show, I would watch Netflix, you know, backstage. And one of my friends had asked me, listen to Halo by Beyonce and tell me how I can't figure out this riff in the song. And I was like, I don't know, let me listen. So I was like, there are 7 notes. If you try tilting your head on the 5th note and you can land it. She was like, whoa. So I like remembered that. And then I also like remember like learning a few riffs, for lack of a better word, broken down for me like years ago. And then I just was going to do one video of like 10 riffs. Hi, it's me. I'm going to do 10 riffs. And I was like, why don't I do 1 riff each video? And I wasn't even going to do a series. And then I was thinking of titles. And then I just kind of thought of catchy lingo and like what people could learn, you know, easily from it. I also tested the method out on my tone deaf wardrobe supervisor and she could do it. So I was like, I think I'm onto something. And then it turned, my friend had an amazing camera and he was an editor. So I didn't even know how to video edit at the time. So that was I was going to do like a casual like photo booth video. And he was like, do you want me to edit it? I was like, okay, great. And then it just kind of took off. Again, not for any reason. I didn't have any purpose of taking off. It was, I had a built-in audience, but I was like, this is fun. Let's try one. You know what I mean? And then it kind of became something.
Yeah, that's like really cool. I see in the chat somebody saying Les Mis is boring to me. Les Mis is one of my favorite shows. Come for it. Don't come for it.
Speaking of viral, this Penn Stater who is much younger than me, she graduated probably like a year ago. One of the alumni things was like, congratulations to this person for hitting 4 million followers on TikTok. And I was like, hello? And I look up her TikTok because I had no idea. And like all comedy videos, just random skits. I'm like, what? Like 4 million?
Yeah, it's crazy.
He probably was bored in quarantine. You know what I mean?
Right. Like, I definitely think it's crazy because like social media is a beautiful thing and it's also like not a beautiful thing at the same time, right? Like, we all know. But like it like obviously like people literally stormed the Capitol and rioted behind like on social media, which is a whole other instance. But at the same time, it's beautiful that like so many people are having the chance to like get exposure that if this was like 10 years ago, like they wouldn't have any exposure and you just
And so much of this happened in quarantine. Like, oh, I'm gonna try TikTok. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so like I don't know. It's cool.
Yeah, it is really cool. Also, you have a self-titled EP. What was it like writing and recording that?
Well, I wish I could say that I wrote for it, but it's just covers. I had an EP come out about 10 years ago. I have a couple mini EP album, excuse me, covers. I had a song written by Jason Robert Brown on it, so that was cool. I would love to write one day. It just has never come to the forefront of my priorities yet. But that would be cool. I'm working on a music video / recording that I'm going to release soon. It's of a Demi Lovato song. So that'll come soon. But yeah, I got like, I used to love going to the studio, but now going to the studio, even if I love the finished product, it's kind of, I'm posting a video soon of my process of like, I'm so annoying. And like, it's just really stressful because the perfectionist vibes are real. You can't just, it's a lot. So like hearing yourself a million times is like,
right.
When you know what you want to do and you're like, nope, that's not what I want. And that's kind of the problem with like, I love vocal producing other people, but then you kind of vocal produce yourself and you're like, no, that's not what I want. Move. You know what I mean? I know what I want, but then if you have too many days off, then you're like, wait, I got to go back in and fix it.
Yeah, I would say like with me, like filming like self-tape auditions is like, I like do it. I do like one take. I do like 100 takes. And I'm just never fully satisfied because, like, when you audition in person, it's like, okay, you got one shot.
That's it. That's it.
You have to live with whatever you do that first time. Maybe if you mess up, you can ask for a second chance, and sometimes they'll say yes. But like, you got basically one shot to get it right or to get whatever you get out there. But when you're in control and of what you get to put out, it's like, oh my goodness, my hair is misplaced in this. Oh, I have a hair tie on my wrist. Oh, this doesn't sound right. Oh,
exactly.
I looked better in this one and I don't sound good in this. And it's just, and then, so my dad started doing this thing where he'll just like take it and he'll go look at them and he'll be like, okay, this one or this one. Like,
good for you. I had somebody do that recently. I said, I can't watch this. Tell me which takes are best. Go. I can't.
Yeah, because he's like, people don't see what you see when you're looking at yourself. Mm-hmm. So he's like, I'm not going to stand up here and record you for the next 5 hours. So this one or this one, which one do you like? And it's been really helpful.
Totally.
I will go for hours. And yeah. But speaking of writing, you helped co-arrange Break from the Line with our pal, Lee Contreras, who was a previous guest on our show. Tell me all about that experience. Also, he talked very highly of you.
Well, I mean, it was awesome. We were trying to create a duet version for a London show. And so we were, sitting there really late at night and we just said a lot of audios. And then I recorded both like two of me doing like both lines. And, we just sit there and it's the same with me and Ben arranging Love Me, Love Me Not, like a lot of like playing around. It just happens to be 2 Joey songs. So I got to arrange all Joey stuff. Just like singing regular harmonies and then trying crunchy things out. And like, yeah. And then it's so satisfying to actually see whether it's you or not, 2 other people, because it was before me and Taylor sang it. It was 2 other girls in London. And it was so fun to see them sing it, what we had arranged.
I love both of those songs and arrangements. 2 of my favorite Joey songs, like specifically recordings with you on it. Like, oh my goodness, Chef's Kiss, music to my ears. When you said it, and then I was just like, hearing it, and I was like in my head, like at the moment.
Yes.
Can we talk about the
Yeah.
It's too-
And then I guess speaking of recording, you were on the Greatest Showman soundtrack and performed on the 90th Academy Awards. Can you talk about that? That's so cool.
So being a part of The Greatest Showman was like, actually the video that's viral on YouTube is the room where it happened, like actually. Because I'd been a part of it since the very beginning. So I was on all the original demos. It was just 2 girls, 2 guys, come alive. I had a solo originally, and then it was cut. But anyway, life, happens. It was just like the most incredible room ever. The energy, you cannot even like deny it. And we always knew it would be like the biggest thing ever. And then it like surpassed what that was. So, it really is the room where it happened.
That's amazing. Well, on like the same vibe as The Greatest Showman, because it's on Disney Plus. We are huge Disney nerds. Our very first episode of Kristina and Kenna was Disney themed, and we came in costume. You sang jingles from Incredibles 2. So
Yeah.
Tell us about it.
Some of my friends are like, that is your biggest, I can't believe I didn't know that about you. And I'm like, okay. Yeah. It's just cool because like I know Alex Lacamoire and he's done a lot of stuff. So he emailed 4 of us, and that's when you feel really cool that you've really made it. Are you free tomorrow? Yes. Let me cancel my plans.
Wow.
Pretty great.
Yeah,
that's
insane.
That's so cool.
Yep.
And then lastly, what advice do you have for people interested in being in the performing arts career?
I would say know that it's really full of ups and downs. Surround yourself with positive people and an amazing community, supportive people, and be nice to everyone because everyone knows everyone. And try to learn from try to learn from even if it's a bad experience. Try to take something and learn from it.
That's like so important, I think, like that last thing, because I remember watching like something of Ben Platt's live at Radio City Hall.
Oh, I saw his show. Where did I see it though? At the Beacon, I think. Okay.
And I saw it on Netflix.
Oh yeah.
That's like my comfort film. But he was like talking about how his whole life he's been like in situations and not learning and appreciating the situations that he's in because he's always looking forward to like the next thing.
Oh yeah, yeah.
He had to like take time and realize that like this is what I'm doing at this moment in time, and like whether I'm super satisfied with it or not, like this is where I am, and I need to appreciate it and learn and grow from it.
Yes, exactly. I learned something new every day. You don't stop learning in high school, and you don't stop learning in college. Even if you go to BFA school, you learn how to sing, dance, and act. I learned so much more than that past, just so you know. Right. Just practical life things.
Right. Yeah, life. Wow.
life and love and business and mortgages, just like life.
Mortgages, standard, apartment hunting, all of that.
Yes.
Yeah, but like this was such an amazing conversation, and we are so grateful that you came on our show. I had such a good time.
Thanks for having me.
Yes, thank you so much for coming. I learned a lot, and it was just great hearing your stories.
When are you guys gonna get to meet?
Hopefully soon. We're both vaccinated now, so maybe the in-person episode will come to you guys.
Oh my God. Okay.
We don't even live that far away from each other. Like she lives in North Carolina and I live in Georgia, which like on the map.
It's not that bad.
Like,
do you live in Charlotte?
There's a state between us.
No, I live in the like Chapel Hill area.
Okay. One of my favorite restaurants of all time is in Charlotte. So every time I'm there, I'm like, give me the burnt ends and the pecan cobbler now.
Love that. But yeah, so hopefully we'll meet like relatively soon. I mean, I think there's only a state between us. So.
Yes, only one.
There's only one, so I'm sure, and we'll have an in-person reunion meetup episode whenever that happens.
Yes.
So yeah, well, thank you so much again. Just can't say thank you enough. Do you have anything that you want to plug before we go?
No, not right now. I mean, I have a course out, but I'm gonna be running a flash sale probably in a month or two, so I'm not gonna like promote it yet. But look out for my course. Check out my new music video coming soon.
Okay, well, thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you so much.
Oh, I forgot Sydney isn't here. Oh, she is. Okay, she's still here. Sorry. That just worked. So, guys, we have a little bit of tea for you. A little bit of tea. So we haven't done tea in a little minute. And so a little bit of stuff has built up. I think Ken and I both have water, or do you have tea?
I have water.
Oh, I have water too. So our first bit of tea is that Laura Osnes has allegedly been fired for not being vaccinated. What do you think about this? Like,
I don't know. This is like, okay. I mean, what do you think? I don't know what to say.
Okay, so when I first saw the headline, I was like, but I think it's understandable, right? Like, Sierra Bogus, she was recently, like, I guess before the pandemic, she was in a show here called Ever After in Atlanta. But so if you guys don't know, Laura Osnes was doing a show in the Hamptons, I believe, and she would not show her proof of vaccination, that she was vaccinated, and said that she didn't have a vaccine. She said that she didn't trust vaccinations, and she was fired and replaced with Sierra Bogus. I personally, I think it's okay. I think it's perfectly okay. I don't think there should be anything taboo or anything about this, because like when Broadway opens up, everybody has to be vaccinated anyway, right? So I think one, it's getting used to that. And two, I think I don't want to necessarily say be selfish, because I know a lot of people have like medical issues where they can't get vaccinated. But if you can get vaccinated and you're choosing not to, you're putting other people at risk. Even if you don't care yourself, you're still endangering other people. And that's how I feel. What do you feel?
Yeah, I agree that, like, totally. I agree with that.
Yeah. Well, we were just talking about Ben Platt. And Ben Platt has a new album. I have not listened to it yet.
I haven't either.
I'm so excited though, because one of my favorite albums of all time is Sing to Me Instead. I love that album with all of my heart. And even the Politician soundtrack, I love that. But Sing to Me Instead, like, those songs are so good. Ben did such a good job. His Live from Radio City Hall concert is on Netflix. If you guys want to check it out, I watch it all the time. But yeah, and he's going on tour. I'm so excited.
Do you think you'll go?
Well, so the date that he's in Atlanta is the month of my birthday. So like, that's sounding pretty positive.
Wait, what month's your birthday?
February.
Right.
And he's going to be here on February 28th, I believe, the last day in February. So, it's looking pretty sunny. What about you?
I have no idea. I have no idea. It like depends. It depends. Like, I don't know.
You should.
But I want to.
You should come in Atlanta and then.
Wait, that'd be such a good reunion.
That would be a really good reunion. Also, like the chat, she has said pro-Trump stuff before, so I'm not shocked. Also, if patrons have to be vaccinated, performers should have to too. Especially if you're singing and dancing and acting, like you're projecting, you're coughing on, like your germs are going places, right?
Right. I kind of think that it's like, I don't know, like, it's just, I don't really want to be around that. If you're like performing, you should probably be like, I don't want spit flying. That's not.
Yeah, it's dangerous. It's not safe. Okay. So, Wicked is the first show to return to Broadway. The tour, the Wicked tour, was in, I think, Dallas, Texas. Yes. Yeah. That's so exciting because it's like, wow, like this is real. Like it's stuff is coming back.
I know. I'm so excited. I mean, like, this is exciting. That stuff's kind of like returning, I guess.
Yeah, I'm like also like Wicked. It's fit that it's Wicked because it's just such a classic at this point.
Yes, Wicked is such a classic. I love it.
It is, and also the Rent 25th anniversary tour was announced, and like I'm really excited for that because I haven't seen Rent, and it is one of my favorite shows.
Oh, Rent's really good. It came on like a tour, and it came in North Carolina, and I got to see it. It was so good.
I've seen like Rent live with Jordan Fisher, which was in Vanessa Hudgens.
Yes, I was that one too.
So good. That was
so good.
I loved that with all my heart, and that was amazing.
I just like a Jordan Fisher stan account.
Jordan Fisher, hi, Jordan.
Oh, also, can we talk about him on High School Musical, the musical, the series, like
causing issues? Jordan.
Okay, yeah, I love Jordan Fisher, and he did a great job. But I was just like his character when he like caused unnecessary drama, and it's not even his fault because he didn't realize that like they were kind of dating. But it was just like you didn't have to mention that you're like a big brother to her. That was not necessary.
That was unnecessary. I was literally sitting here and I was like waiting for Jordan Fisher to be somebody's like sibling in a show. Like I was like, look, it's gonna be like Sophia Wiley or like he's gonna be somebody's big brother. Like I was literally, and then when that came out, I was like, oh.
I was like, one step forward and 3 steps back.
Yes, but like honestly, that end of that series was a flop for me.
Yeah, it was. I mean, like at least I hope Gina and EJ are like together now.
Why is it called the farewell tour? I do not know. I don't know. But yeah, the end of it was just not there.
It was like not.
The whole season honestly fell flat for me. Like it really fell flat.
It did, and I was like, if they didn't even have the Menkeys, I was like, I feel like they could have done much more with this. They could have done High School Musical 2 and like just forgotten the whole Beauty and the Beast thing.
Right, like literally everything that and High School Musical 2 would have been perfect because they could have like made Gina like whoever and then like make the whole like Sharpay and like Troy thing happen in like real life or whatever. Something could have happened. Anyway, it's just.
And now I'm just like, if they do High School Musical 2 for this summer, then Beauty and the Beast will just stand out as like random,
yeah. And I feel like every plot point that they were trying to make happen, like they never completed. Like they did not complete the whatever the Beast transformation was. We don't know. Nene didn't stay at her actor school. Nothing.
That was so random.
It was so random.
I guess I wasn't paying attention because she was randomly back at like the school, and I was like, what is she doing here?
I really, yeah. Okay. The season just fell flat for me. That's all I have to say. Okay, well, Passover moves up to Broadway opening to August 22nd. I don't know too much about Passover, but I did read like a synopsis, and it was like Exodus, but like modern day kind of vocabulary, and it like seems like a BIPOC show. And honestly, I'm here for it. And like the tickets start at $39.99, so like, I mean, who isn't for it at that rate? But I'm actually pretty excited for this show. Like, what do you think?
Yeah, me too. I'm really excited for it. Just like any new shows.
I love new shows, especially this is an actual new show as opposed to a revival or we don't want more Cinderellas. Like,
yeah, I just want like new shows because like new music, new songs for audition cuts.
Right, like because like Dear Evan Hansen was like a new story, and like Waitress was like a new story, and then like I don't know, but then in the same breath we have like revivals going on, and I'm always here for a good revival. I still want a Spring Awakening revival. like really soon. You guys already know I want a Spring Awakening. I want to be in a Spring Awakening revival. How about that?
Yes.
Let's do that.
I agree with that. You should totally be in it.
Oh wait, you're in Beauty and the
Oh
Beast.
yeah, I'm in a production of Beauty and the Beast Junior. I'm Lumiere. So
You're Lumiere. That's
yes.
awesome.
Sorry, Carlos. Sorry, Andrew Barth-Feldman. Like, I am Lumiere now.
Are you doing a French accent?
Yeah, I am. I'm like, okay, well, I want to. I'm kind of already like, I'm like, I can't do it without a French accent. It just isn't there. But I don't really know. I said earlier that I only speak Spanish. I don't speak French. So that's kind of a problem. But, like, I've been watching YouTube tutorials.
Yes. I speak Spanish way better than I speak French, and I think there's a video, it's by Lily Rose Depp, and she breaks down.
That's the video I watched. That's the video. Lily Rose Depp. That's the exact video I watched. Lily Rose Depp, where she like was going over the pronunciations. I don't even know if it was helpful.
Is como San Diego?
No, I don't even know if it was helpful, but I was like, you know what? It's Lily Rose Depp, and I trust her. So
I learned my French accent from watching Ava Milok, her French vlogs. I watch her French vlogs, and I watch like it's called like Quotient, and it's like a French talk show, and it's basically like Ellen, I guess. And so I watch it, and then I just like copy that. But the chat says like Passover is in August Wilson Theater, Black Show in a Black Theater. We must stand. Yes, we stand. Go off. I'm here for it.
Me too.
And like the August Wilson monologue contest is like done in like there's a theater a mile away from my house. Fun fact. And the August Wilson monologue contest is like done there every year, so just thought that'd be a fun. Anyway, the last thing that we're about to talk about is something I'm so excited about. Titus Rubin joins Annie Live. So when they said they were doing Annie Live, I was kind of over here, and I was kind of like, I wonder what the cast's gonna be, because did you enjoy like the Annie with like Jamie Foxx? Because I really liked that Annie. Like I love the original. I really liked it.
To be honest, I mean, it wasn't bad. It was definitely like my second favorite. But it just, my favorite one's the 1999 one, the Disney one. Yeah, that's my favorite one. The Disney one.
Your favorite one is the Disney one? That's like.
Please, can someone back me up in the comments?
No.
That one's so
that
good.
One's horrible.
Audra McDonald's in it.
Yeah, Audra McDonald's in it, and she's the only good thing about it. I'm sorry. That Annie flopped for me.
No, please help me in the comments, guys.
No,
please.
Look, listen. I'm sorry. Everybody I've talked to is literally like, what was Disney doing? Mine is Audra. Audra is queen.
No, the Disney one was so good.
No.
The first one was so boring, and
the original was amazing.
No, it was not. I need these comments.
No, it was really good. No,
I
your
agree,
mom
Kenna.
is gonna
Thank
back you up. I'm not putting. Look, Annie is so.
Because it's just the Disney one is so good, and like it.
Okay, we're gonna.
But anyway, back to Annie Live.
Taraji P. Henson as Miss Hannigan. I am here for it. I'm passive for it. I am so here for it. I'm so here. Ooh.
I love Annie though.
Original is good. Period. Yeah, I love Annie. I'm excited for it. I really liked that Annie with Jamie Foxx. It was like, oh, like it was kind of breaking a barrier of like, oh, Annie has to be redheaded with freckles. Like, no, Annie does not. Full representation. Like, come on.
Yeah, I loved that part about it, but like
And Jamie Foxx is just excellent. I love him. I love his acting. I watched the Ray Charles movie the other day, like I think the day before yesterday, and he was in it, and he's just incredible. He's top tier. Jamie, if you're watching this.
I mean, like the 2014 one was good,
It's
It
not
was
my
definitely
favorite. My favorite is the original, and then
Oh no, the original is my least favorite. The 2014 one is my second favorite because that was good. It was good, but I just like Annie. When I think of it, I think of like show tunes and like NYC. Just like not. I wasn't getting that from the 2014 one, but it's okay because it was still good, and I think that it did show a lot of representation. And at the time, for me, like I was so excited for Annie because I loved Annie, so I was so excited to see like someone like me like be Annie.
yeah, like definitely breaking a lot of barriers. I'm so excited for Annie Live, even though like the last live musical we had was The Grinch, and
I never even watched that, so
I have it recorded on my TV for some reason, and I I'm sorry. I watched it, and I couldn't figure out if I didn't like it because I just didn't like it, or if I didn't like it because it was just off-putting. I I don't know what happened there. I don't
yeah,
know.
I never watched it. I don't really know why I didn't. I just like never really had the time, and then people were saying it was bad, and I was like, well, I'm not going to watch it.
Another thing I don't understand is like we've had Grease live, we've had Hairspray live, we've had
Hairspray
Live. Hairspray
Live.
Live was so good. And then you
Yes.
just randomly give us The Grinch. And like, yes, I know it's Christmas time, but whose decision was that? And
Yeah.
I'm not here for any Matthew Morrison hate. Matthew Morrison played a character, and the character was really problematic. Please leave him alone. Like, I feel like he gets a lot of hate for things that Mr. Shoe did, but I think
Right. I feel like people just don't like him because of Mr. Shoe, which like
but
I
it
can
wasn't
understand
him.
because when I see him, I'm thinking that. But then I'm just like he gets like a lot of hate just for that reason, and I'm not really here for it because like he's different than the character. He's just a really good actor, and like
He is a really good
made that character come to life.
Yeah, and it's really upsetting because he gets so much hate, and so many people are giving him like death threats and like saying all these terrible things about him for something that writers wrote for him to do. Like, we know that the rapping in Gold Digger was terrible. We know the writers knew they did that on purpose. You don't need to say that you hate Matthew Morrison. Like, stop, like, please. And I tried to DM him once, and like he has his DMs like turned off, like all the way off, because people just
Oh,
so much hate.
that makes me feel bad.
It made me feel really bad. Like, so I just want to say that the you can't hate him for being the Grinch because that was a role. You can't hate him for being Matthew Moore. I mean, for being Mr. Shoe because that was a role. So please look past the act and look at the actor. That's all I have to say.
Yeah.
But like, what I want Spring Awakening live, but I know that's not gonna air on like TV during the holidays.
Yeah. What do I don't know.
Spring Awakening live would be. I feel like the best live musicals are musicals with like real people per se, like Shrek. Like the recording that's on Netflix is like cool, but like I wouldn't want to see that on like as an NBC live musical. I would like to see Light in the Piazza.
I'd like to say A Bronx Tale.
Oh, Bronx Tale. Interesting.
I know. I think it could be good. I don't
I
know.
think it could be good. What do you guys want to see? Chat. What do you guys want to see as the next live musical? And honestly, you know what I want? Pause. I just realized what I want, but we're gonna get it, so I'm excited. Once on This Island is everything.
Do you want to know something embarrassing?
Yes.
I've like never listened to Once on This Island.
Get off.
Like I have no idea what it's about. So when we were doing that, like,
oh my gosh, it's. Let me give you a little rundown. So, Once on This Island. The 2018 show was with Haley Kilgore and Isaac Cole Powell, Alex Newell, why am I drawing a blank right now? Leia Salonga, everybody.
I love her.
It was such a good show. It was an all of color, all BIPOC cast. It was in Circle in the Square Theater, so the entire stage was covered in sand. It was absolutely, y'all watch the slime tutorial. It's so good. It's so basically the story of Once on This Island is there's like this girl who's washed away in a storm, and like she comes in a storm, and her name's T Moon, and T Moon is like, she lives in Haiti, like they say an island in the French Antilles, but it's Haiti, and she is like a dark skinned girl. So like in the like Antilles, like there's the Grand Homme are people who are like light skinned or like mixed, like Creole and French, and then or our Creole, let me rephrase, which is black and French, and then there are the native people who are just black or who are just like native, and so the whole story is that this stranger in white in a car, stranger in white in a car, is in the car, and his car breaks down in their little like poor village, and she comes in and she like heals him, and then he goes back and she's like, I'm gonna marry him, and they're like, you're not gonna marry him, you're not a Grand Homme, you're not gonna marry him, and she's like, I am, I love him, and she goes and they fall in love, and then he leaves her for a Grand Homme. He leaves her. I'm sorry, I should have said spoilers. I'll put a spoiler.
Oh yeah, now like, oh okay.
Anyway, he leaves her for a Grand Homme, and then the gods come to her, and they're like, this god comes to her, and like basically Leia Salonga is like her guardian angel, and then the other, like there's all these other gods, and this one god is like trying to like get like her to be evil, and so she's like, if you stab him and kill him, you can like be free. And she's like, I'm not gonna kill him, I love him. So she literally like dies for him and turns into a tree. And I know that sounds like the most off the wall description, but it's so beautiful. It's
Okay,
really,
I'll definitely listen to it.
it's a beautiful show. Haley Kilgore and Isaac Powell did that. Isaac Powell is going to be in a new Amazon Prime series I'm so excited for. I love his work. He's also going to be in Dear Evan Hansen, which is coming in September.
Yes, wait, hold up. When does it come out?
I want to say September 14th.
No, I remember. Well, let me look it up because I remember it was like coming out near my birthday.
I'm really excited. You're frozen, but yeah, I'm really excited for Dear Evan Hansen. I'm so excited.
Oh, it comes out literally on my birthday, September 24th.
Oh, okay, I got the 4 right. That's awesome. Like, you should see it on your birthday.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, that's such a good movie. I'm so excited for all of like, I'm excited for Rachel Zegler as Snow White. I'm excited for West Side Story. I'm excited for so many movie musicals coming out. Oh, I said all of that to say that Once on This Island is a pro shot of it is coming to Disney Plus. I am so excited because I love that show so much, and I'm pretty sure it's with the cast with like Haley Kilgore, Isaac Powell.
Oh, that'll be great.
It's my favorite show, so
that'll be great. Anyway, I kind of need to go.
Yeah, so that's kind of a wrap
That's
up.
the stream.
That's the teacups. We love you guys. We're gonna be taking a little bit of a break because with school starting and everything, we want to make sure that we can get our scheduling right to make sure that we can make the best content possible for you guys. So yeah, see you guys in a minute. Love you guys. Thank you for all the support, and
thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.